North Korea has sent Colonel General Kim Yong-bok to lead the North Korean troops in Russia. This general is one of the 10 most important military figures in North Korea and often acts as an aide to Kim Jong-un. Column General Kim Yong-bok was rarely seen or even mentioned in public. His role leading North Korea's special forces required him to keep a low profile to conceal his identity. But now he is a very public figure. He is the top North Korean military official in Russia, where more than 11,000 North Korean soldiers have been deployed to aid Moscow's efforts to dislodge Ukrainian troops who have seized a chunk of Russian territory. Officials in Kyiv and Seoul have reportedly confirmed Colonel General Kim's presence in Russia. Formally, Kim Yong-bok is believed to be tasked with integrating North Korean troops with Russian troops, learning from the experience of combat operations to bring it back home, and preparing for future deployments. Colonel General Kim is not expected to participate in the Russian war against Ukraine. However, the deployment of one of North Korea's most important military officials shows Pyongyang is interested in assisting Russia by the end of next year. North Korea stopped concealing the part played by Colonel General Kim after Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin visited Pyongyang in June, when the two countries agreed on a mutual defense pact. Colonel General Kim became an aide to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. They visited the flood-affected areas and observed special forces training and artillery exercises. The last mention of Colonel General Kim in North Korean state media was on the 6th of October. A few days later, he was believed to have traveled to Russia with the first batch of North Korean troops. Colonel General Kim remained in the dark for most of his career. The government's database of elite North Koreans, which includes more than 680 officials and is based on intelligence from South Korea's spy agency and publicly available information, lists only his name and position. His age, hometown, or any other biographical information are still unknown. In March, it became known about his current role being the third in command in the North Korean army. This general is one of the 10 most important military figures in North Korea. Ukrainian and South Korean officials report that Colonel General Kim was among approximately 500 North Korean officers sent to Russia. And we have seen an interesting quote on Russian Telegram channels. Yesterday, more than 20 of our fighters from the 26th Tank Regiment of the 11th Separate Air Assault Brigade were allegedly captured near Martinovka. Most of them were former prisoners, for whom this was their first real assault. In addition, at least 8 armored vehicles were lost. Many guys died, and all because of the lack of quality reconnaissance and, as a result, poor planning. The guys from the regiment write that this attack was, in fact, reconnaissance. Again, in short, 25. Again, negligence of commanders. They do not take care of either people or equipment. And after this, they themselves are fine and continue to hold their positions and continue to dispose of lives. Germany's largest companies are being advised to prepare for a possible war with Russia. The Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung reports that the Bundeswehr has started reaching out to company representatives to prepare for a possible war with Russia. According to the newspaper, the government has developed a secret German operational plan in case of a military invasion. In particular, it lists all buildings and infrastructure facilities that require special protection for military purposes. The document also contains a detailed defense action plan. In addition, a special plan is envisaged in the event of a direct clash between Russia and NATO in Eastern Europe. In this case, Germany would become a transportation hub for soldiers to be transferred to the front, as well as for military equipment, food, and medicine. The Hamburg Chamber of Commerce and Industry held the first event to prepare German companies for a possible military conflict. The head of Hamburg State Command, Lieutenant Colonel Jörn Plischke, made specific recommendations for business representatives. For every 100 employees, train at least 5 additional truck drivers. People from Eastern Europe drive 70% of all trucks on German roads. If there is a war there, where will these people end up? The military asked. According to him, enterprises should have autonomous power sources, such as diesel generators or their own wind turbines. Plischke added that Russia is preparing for a conflict with Germany by conducting unmanned reconnaissance flights, sabotage, cyber attacks, and assassination attempts on top managers of German companies. The lieutenant colonel emphasized that Germany has major problems with producing military equipment and ammunition. After the military speech, the mayor of Hamburg said that the city had introduced volunteers who do not belong to the Bundeswehr combat unit, but are involved in security and safety tasks to the 3rd Civil Defense Company. For its part, the Hamburg Senate has already responded to the threat and created more than 40 additional jobs to strengthen crisis management and protect the population. Conversations like the one in Hamburg are taking place across the country. All federal state commands have been instructed to carry out this task, the Bundeswehr reported. Ukraine currently does not have enough strength to regain its 1991 borders. We are ready to return Crimea diplomatically, states President Volodymyr Zelensky in his interview with Fox News. According to Zelensky, Ukraine cannot legally recognize any occupied territory as Russian. We cannot legally acknowledge any occupied territory of Ukraine as Russian. That is about those territories occupied by Putin before the full-scale invasion since 2014. Legally, we are not acknowledging that. We are not adopting that. We understand that so far we do not have that much force, so that with the weapons in our hands we could push Putin back to the line of 1991, Zelensky said. He noted that Russian President Vladimir Putin has made it clear that Crimea will never return to Ukraine. Are you willing to give up Crimea in pursuit of a peace deal to end this war and stop the bloodshed in Europe? We cannot spend dozens of thousands of our people so that they perish for the sake of Crimea coming back. We understand that Crimea can be brought back diplomatically, the president stressed. He said that he understood that Crimea could be returned to Ukraine only through diplomatic means, not with arms. Currently, negotiations between Ukraine and Russia are not taking place. President Volodymyr Zelensky emphasizes that the only area of contact with Russia concerns the exchange of prisoners. At the same time, Western media reported that Ukraine and Russia, with Qatar acting as a mediator, allegedly began preliminary discussions on halting strikes on energy infrastructure. However, this information was officially denied by both the Ukrainian side and the Kremlin. Former U.S. President Donald Trump stated that if he returns to the White House, he intends to immediately organize negotiations between Ukraine and Russia. Volodymyr Zelensky, in turn, warned against rushing to end the war through unjustified compromises.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.